From fabulous Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, home of the stars, the magic factory where dreams come true, culture capital of the world, jewel of the Pacific, it's the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on. Mandate. Get it on. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for telling a friend, because that's the way we grow the pirate ship. Good day, Alison.
Hello, Adam Carolla.
Good day, Bald Bryan.
You're wasting my time now.
All right. Couple updates with Sonny and the larceny. That's what I should have named his sister. First off, people should know that we're going to do the Vegas House of Blues, and we're doing a live Mangria tasting, and someone will put it up on the screen in Vegas. I think it's Lee's in Vegas. There it is. Sorry. Lee's in Vegas, and as soon as this went up, Jimmy Kimmel got hold of it and said, "Oh, that's a liquor store we used to buy beer from when we were in high school."
Well, that's nice.
Nice little yeah. So I will put
history.
A nice coat of Brasso on the plaque that resides in front. It is kind of nice driving around Vegas with Jimmy, because he'll go, "Hey, that's the hotel where I lost my virginity," and I'd go, "Oh, the Continental's a piece of shit." And he goes, "Oh, no, the parking lot." It's like not even a piece of shit hotel, the parking lot. And that's where we used to, me and Cleto used to shoot a shotgun and hit people's kites. And that's where we used to squirt people with fire hydrant who were walking along the strip. And that's where we bought our first beer. It's kind of nice.
It's like those Hollywood sightseeing tours with the bus with no top where it goes around, and that's where blah, blah, blah died. They should work that into the Vegas version. That's where Jimmy Kimmel lost his virginity.
Do you ever feel like when you're driving around pointing out different things that were meaningful in your past, that it's more interesting to you than the other person?
It all depends. A couple things. First off, Jimmy's an interesting cat. Secondly, he weaves a good yarn.
Right. He would be the exception.
Mm-hmm. I think they call it macrame. But
yes. You can put plants into the yarns he weaves.
He does a stick, and he makes it into an owl.
It's amazing.
And that's his thing.
Wow.
So anyway, we got that coming up. At Vegas, we're doing it 5:30 at Lee's this Friday. We'll do a little Mangria tasting. And for those of you who've not been to one, they're a lot of fun. Everyone comes out, and I sign some bottles and take some pictures, and I shake babies violently, like a paint can shaker, like a
if your
like
baby's
a tanker with a rattle can.
You
Yeah,
got
bring it out.
wrong, bro.
That's right.
You're going from Vegas to Salt Lake City the next day?
Yeah.
You're gonna get the Benz.
Yeah,
You're
the cultural Benz. Yeah, and then Salt Lake City, 5 o'clock, Wise Guys, Trolley. All right, is that Trolley? Yeah, Trolley Square, and I'll be doing the same there. And trying to figure out how much booze to bring. You guys tweet us. We can't figure out if Salt Lake City doesn't drink or they're super pent up and going to go insane.
They might need it.
Yeah.
The ones that do drink, they make up. You know what I'm saying? They're rebelling against the locals.
So in the world of booze, as I was saying, the white Mangria is coming out in a couple of days, and I said that I took some white and I took some red and a regular Mangria, and I put it together and made a rosé.
Ooh,
and then
you made a brosé.
Somebody tweeted me,
oh,
brosé.
Shit.
Oh, no, great minds think alike.
The other one just got there faster.
That's right. High five, random Twitter guy.
I got the brosé going, so nice. I enjoy it, and I hope you'll enjoy some too. All right, the Sonny situation. So what happened is so just to catch everyone up, there was money that was in an envelope, a small cash envelope, like a bank envelope. It was several $100s. It was literally just, I don't know, $600-700. Could have been as much as $900 or as little as $300. I can't remember what was in it. It was set down, and unfortunately, it left. And I didn't leave it. And my son, who I'd never thought about as a suspect, nay, sunspect, was hanging around the money, just sort of sitting there. And then one of Dr. Drew's guests. And unfortunately, and look, Dr. Drew has a lot of, people that have been through the 12 steps and a lot of survivors of breast cancer and incest and mommies who wrote books and stuff. This one just happened to be a guy who was bipolar and sort of seemed like kind of guy that if he was walking down one street, you might cross the other side just because movements were a little weird. Weird. It was just the timing.
Jerky and as if they might grab a envelope full of cash.
The timing was bad, and that A, he sat down where I was sitting counting my money, and then B, later on, you guys didn't see this part, he sat in this entry hall here that separates the studio from the entryway, and he sat long ways, and he put his legs all the way across on the floor so that you would almost have to step over him to get, even though there's a whole sofa at his butt's beck and call, he just went and sat down against the bathroom wall with his back against the bathroom wall on the floor. I didn't come in and say, excuse me, I was sitting there or anything like that. He chose...
Ironically, the way a 6-year-old would sit. Also,
a little bit weird that he was sitting in my place and then decided to move on to the floor. But anyway, the guy seems harmless, but unfortunately seems to have a little past of larceny. It's just
a forgery.
It's making things very confusing for a person like me. You would have to understand that as trustworthy and trusting as I am, the guy I never met before with the emotional psychological disorder who sat on the floor and then sat where I was sitting and then sat by my money, who's since tweeted us saying he has nothing to do with this, which I already knew because I asked him when he was here before I left. At least he's consistent. Has nothing to do with his money leaving. I don't know what he would say.
So for people who didn't listen yesterday or today, you thought he was the one you suspected perhaps he took the money until you were reminded that Sonny was here at the same time.
Right.
Sonny, your son.
Then we got Sonny on the phone, and then Sonny cried, and then Sonny, what apparently was very compelling pod. Everyone seemed to enjoy it very much. And then when I got home last night, I did the one knee move.
That's when you get to his level to really talk to him.
Yeah, helmet's not a chair. I grabbed my own knee. I grabbed a knee, and I did the eyeball to eyeball.
We want a seal here and a seal here.
That's right. And I said, Sonny, did you take Daddy's money? Did you take that envelope? Daddy will understand if you tell him the truth, but if you don't tell Daddy the truth, he's going to be very upset if he finds out. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. And he looked me in the eye, and he said, I did not do that. I learned my lesson the first time, Daddy. And we hugged it out, and we went to bed. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory. The following day, this morning, kids were in the den doing God knows what, burning kilowatts, because that's what they do. I was heading out the door, and I pulled Lynette aside, and I said, we got to search. We got to search the underpants drawer. We got to search. I did that thing that Tommy Lee Jones did.
I want you to go in every outhouse, doghouse.
That's right. Hard target search. Yeah. And I
50
did
50 meters in every direction.
That's right. I did the thing. Helicopters overhead, dogs barking in the background. And I said, we got to search. And she's like, you're an animal.
Because she believes he's innocent.
Your son.
She knows he's innocent.
Your son looked you in the eye. And by the way, she did the thing where she went, me, Olga, and Jody all know. I was like, I said, listen to me. She said, your son looked you in the eye, and your son said that he did not steal that money. Now, that should be good enough for you, and you're not tuned in enough to your own son to look, because I saw him, and I'm tuned in enough to know there's no way he would do that. He would not look you in the eye. And I said, I agree. I don't think he did it. I'm 90-something% sure. But you understand, I've essentially accused someone else of doing it. And so I need to know positively. I need to be able to say, I searched the house.
And what harm could it do to look for it?
Well, the harm is that we broke the trust, the bond, the sacred bond of the kid who tried to steal $40 from me 9 months earlier in the year.
He was keeping it safe, Adam.
I told him, and I want everyone to know this. And this is a micro and a macro issue we're all having trouble with in society. Sonny, the whole reason Daddy thinks you may have stolen it now is because a few months back, we opened your backpack and there's $40 of Daddy's cash in your backpack. That's what gets you onto the list.
Right.
If you don't,
he has priors.
Yes, if you don't do that, third strike, by the way, you're out the house. If you don't do that, then you won't be on the list, but you're now on the list because of your prior behavior. So understand your prior behavior does affect the present and the future. So Lynette gave me the sort of, you sicken me kind of thing. And I was like, first off, I didn't even think of my son as a suspect. I really did not think of my son as a suspect. I like it, by the way, when you seek counsel from people like Mike August, and he's like, Mike's like, it's great talking to Mike because he's like, there's no way Sonny did it. He didn't do it. And I go, all right, well, so was I wrong? Oh, no, you absolutely check. You look in the underpants drawer, look in the backpack, look everywhere. And I said, well, you should look, but he didn't do it. And he said, well, no, you don't tell Lynette. You search. Here's your big mistake. Next time, you look. And I said,
the man's all heart.
No, but he's a pragmatic guy.
Yeah.
And he's right. Next time, I should have just kept my mouth shut and look. But anyway, I don't want to run the house that way. I said, look.
You don't want to run the house that way, or you don't want to search the house?
I don't feel like going through underoos.
Yeah.
Unless I'm feeling sexy. So I said, I don't think he did it, but think is the operative word here. I need to conduct this in a sort of 100% absolute way. If there's a 2% chance that he did it, even if it's 2%, I can't point my finger at somebody else. If there's a 2% chance that my son may have done it, and I need to search to make sure he didn't. I go through the airport. I have to take my belt off. They know I'm not a terrorist. It's just part of the protocol. It's just what it is.
You should say it's for his own good. Just like when you have to show your license when you're paying with a credit card, and they say it's to protect you.
Right. Well, I didn't really pull it off. She didn't like the bond breaking part. I was like, I'm not breaking the bond, but he has stolen before. He has lied about it before. And he was standing there admiring the pile of money that was on the table. And he knew some specifics about it. And I'm accusing a total stranger of doing it now, which I don't like.
Was breaking the bond accusing him of it, or is searching breaking the bond?
Well, the accusing of it can't be pinned on me because I forgot about it and Gary brought it up. So I'm off. Even though I'm being accused of accusing him of it, I never brought it up. Mm-hmm. So I can't be accused. Well, I can be because there's no rules in this courthouse.
Right.
But I had to explain over and over again. I wasn't the one that even brought it up. I saw him sitting there the whole time. We got in the car and we left. He was never a suspect in my mind. Mm-hmm. I should have strip searched a little shit right there, but I didn't because I'm a good dad. You understand? Maybe even great. But no, we got down. I took a knee. I looked him eye to eye. He said he didn't do it. And the following morning, I said, we still need to look in his backpack and his underoos drawer to make sure. That's what broke the bond for Lynette. Now, and you guys tell me what you would do. I feel like
I would look. I feel like it's a violation of privacy if the child is of a certain age, and I don't know what that age is, but at 6,
yes,
you normally go through their things anyway.
Right.
So therefore, I personally don't think that is breaking the bond to look. I just wouldn't let him know that you still don't believe him.
Right.
You're doing the right thing by looking through his stuff. The horse got out of the barn. I don't have kids, so call me an idiot and say I'm wrong. But I think the horse got out of the barn when Lynette said, "Sonny, you didn't take it, did you?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Okay, I believe you." Wow.
I know.
A 6-year-old will tell you anything.
But he had real tears.
Of course, he was afraid.
I know.
Terrified.
But I tell people
he was caught.
I tell people the fucking wording all the time with people. Like, I would stand next to my assistant, and he'd go, "You guys don't deliver, do you?" And I go, say, I need that delivered. Yeah. When you say you don't accept returns, do you? Or you just give credit for returns, you don't return cash, right? Like, don't say it that way. You're giving them
You don't like blowjobs, do you? That's what I do.
You're giving them an out. You're giving them an out. So you cannot say you didn't steal that, did you? You just have to go, by the way, what you do have to do is you have to go, Daddy knows you stole the $100. He wants it back now. That you go further with it. Mm-hmm. That gets them to crack, saying it and I didn't remember that's how she said it, but it now
was to that effect.
But that was, I think, after you had said to him,
okay,
I want the money back.
Now The good news is, like I said, he's going to have to launder that stuff with Curious George jammies and Ninjagos and, Legos and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how he's going to launder that money. That's $100. God knows he's just going to hand it to the Armenian ice cream man and tell him to keep the change next time he gets a bomb pop. But now the plot thickens a little because that was on a Friday, and on a Saturday they went to like Target or something, and
Dun, dun, dun.
Natalia evidently had some money that she'd saved up from the Tooth Fairy. And he had no money. He was saying to Olga, he didn't have money. I feel like he would have found that $100
He's
when he
punching
got
himself in the
when he
teeth.
got to Target that day. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah, he's not maniacal enough to pretend to not have the money if he had it.
right. So I don't think that he stole it. I do still think as a parent it's the right thing to do to check, especially when you're accusing another adult of possibly doing this. And there's nothing to pursue. Either the guy stole it or the guy didn't. It seems likely that he did, but I can't prove it. And
Now, what do you make of him reaching out to say he didn't do it, though? If he had, is that something he would do?
well, if he had, he would have said that he didn't do it already when I was in the room with him.
Which is what he did.
Which is what he did. So it would have been consistent. We got the tweet that somebody emailed us from a fan site or something. So, and look, first off, it could have been any one of the flunkies working here. And it could have been the
Or all of them.
Or all of them. They could all whacked it up 7 different ways. But it also could have been, look, a fucking crow could have taken it away. I don't know. It just, it seems unfortunate that a guy, and I don't know if he had criminal history or not. I just know that there was something about forging, some art forgery or something on the internet. That's according to Gary. I don't know. Gary, do you get into the mic? Do you know what the full story is?
Gary has
According
a lot
to
of
his
that.
own book, he was convicted of fraud as a result of high-end art forgery. So
Okay.
He self-admitted.
All right, so let me say this. There are people that are capable of doing certain things, and then there are people that are incapable of doing certain things. I don't steal. I'm capable of doing other things. You could accuse me of tuning you out, and in which case you'd go, oh, that's Adam. But if you said, I'm missing one of my candlesticks, you wouldn't go, that's Adam, because Adam never steals anything from anybody. So he's at least proven himself
Yes.
to be capable of doing this. Yes, that much we can agree. And
you got a weird. Well, see, I don't mean to accuse him. However, you got a weird vibe from him, right?
no, he's a weird person. He has bipolar disorder. He has a disorder. He came in. Look, even I would have to think twice about not stealing this money. It would have been several $100s in an envelope the size of a $100 bill sitting in front of you on a table with no wallet, no ID, nothing to get rid of, nothing to do but slide it into your sock and pull your pant leg over it. That was about as far as you had to go with it. I mean, that is literally cash sitting on a table in front of you. The only reason some people wouldn't have stolen that money is because they think it was a setup, like someone would pull some fishing string and it would go sliding across the table, and Alan Funt Jr. would come popping out if he's still in fact alive.
Oh, not to entrap them, but to humiliate them.
Yeah,
Make a
right.
bit out of it.
Right. So that for a person that may have a disorder or two and has performed feats of larceny before, that would be a pretty low hanging fruit. On the other hand, it's not a foregone conclusion that he did it. It is not. It's just I have no idea where the money went.
Right.
And
for him to have done it, that means he would have had to steal it and then still be here for a while afterwards, and he would have had to be comfortable with that.
Yeah. Well, part of having a disorder, sometimes it's your worst enemy, sometimes your best friend. Yeah. And also, look, as I said, you put it in your sock, you pull your pant leg down over your sock. Now we're getting to the point where someone has to say, take your pants off, take shoes off, take socks off. I mean, that's what we're getting to. I can say, do you have it? Is it in front of you? Can I check your pockets? But there's a certain point, if you just slide it down the crack of your ass, where I'm literally going to have to ask you to go into the bathroom and disrobe. That's Drew's guess during a show. It's going to be a tough putt, as they say in the business. And people say, well, why now? Well, the window was 10 minutes. Would have had to do it then. Don't know if he did it or not. We'll never do it. Drew will defend him to the end. Drew should pay me. I've just figured this out. But the actual tweet says what? By the way, it was too small on my screen for me to read, Gary.
So somebody tweeted at him, an ACS fan, that asked, you didn't take the envelope with the money, did you, with the hashtag ACS? And then he emailed me and said, to answer his question, I have no idea what happened to the envelope with the money.
Okay. Well, there's really nothing to, there's nothing to do but believe him because there's no recourse. I mean, unless you want to start getting into lie detector tests and things like that, which is fun. I
was going to say, yeah. I would definitely be interested in that, in hearing it.
That's a solid radio bit, peeps.
When we were doing my morning show back in the day when we were on KLSX out here in Los Angeles doing the morning show, Jack Silver had a couple of great plans to really boost the image of the show. One is he would have Frosty, Heidi, and Frank, the show that came on after our show, make fun of our show for the first 10 minutes of their show every time.
Great.
It was a real morale booster for our show.
Well, the headliner always makes fun of the opening act, man.
Yeah, that was good. Then he had, was it Mark Chambers? I'm trying to think who Death Dog was, we'll figure it out. He had the guy who was in charge of the website and the blog or whatever, constantly talking about what a piece of shit our show was under a pseudonym.
He had someone on the inside trolling?
The person that was in charge of KLSX's website would go on to the blogs.
Yeah.
And you'll correct me, Brian, when I screw this up, and talk about what a piece of shit our show was. Unfortunately, he got way too specific, like Mike Lynch was a shitty writer. Like, you wouldn't have known Mike Lynch wrote a bit if you weren't physically in the building.
Yeah.
And the way he was caught, or what drew our attention to him, is he had so many misspellings in his critiques of our show, and as the webmaster, had a whole bunch of misspellings as well. So, a bunch of typos as well. So, ironically, him being really shitty at his job brought us to our attention, and then we brought him in, and we brought the no-lie MRI guy in with us to bust him on the air, and he just cracked immediately. By the way, Jack Silver, never fired him. Now, what was Death Dog's name?
Bygones are...
I think his last name was Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so it was Jack Sullivan.
Yeah.
And it was not Mark Chambers, who's a good guy.
Why did he
Mark
think
Chambers
it was
is
a
a good
good
guy.
idea to have someone saying shitty things about you guys online?
Why did Jack do that?
If I can.
Jack's an idiot, yes.
Well, you're right about that.
Right.
I think Death Dog, under the name Death Dog, went onto our message boards, started posting weird inside stuff like, this show needs to be gutted, and Mike Lynch is a terrible writer, and why are they doing this? And then when he was sort of found out, it was like, I was just going on there to stir up conversation. It's like, it's a fairly specious argument.
Yeah.
But then Jack was like, he knows his stuff. I'll just move to a different department.
Yeah.
Like, that was his thing. He shuffled him.
Jack, well, I don't know that Jack was behind it. Radio guys are idiots. Jack wanted his guys to do the morning show. His guys didn't get a chance to do the morning show. I did the morning show. He was pissed off about it, so he took his guys and tried to sort of tear apart our morning show, which makes perfect sense.
I only wish I'd gotten a chance to meet him.
It was excellent.
He also masterminded the deleting of all of my drops. Remember that?
Sure.
I had a huge collection of drops from like a year and a half, and they were disappeared one day.
Radio people are horrific, and the good news is they're all trying to do a podcast right now. So enjoy your newfound success, everybody. All right. Titus is coming in here soon. I don't know if he's in the building yet. He is here. So anyway, now here's the second and third question. Do I conduct my Sonny search, or are we just moving on?
You conduct the search because I got to know. Do it for me.
All right. It's going to disrupt my family life. You understand?
There's no way you can surreptitiously do it?
Don't talk about it on your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just kidding.
Aside from that.
No, I'll find out because he'll have to launder the money at some point. There's $100 bills. Yes.
Did he, when he took the initial $40, Did he lie to you about that first? Was that his first reaction?
Yes.
Then you have to search.
Well, he lied in that we found the $40 in his backpack.
Okay. Then you have to search.
Oh.
And
now
by
he's
the
got
way,
a track record.
it was probably $60. Just Lynette and Olga wet their beak, a little finder's fee.
Finders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They took the 20 and whacked it up. Yeah.
He did.
And he said he was trying to keep it safe.
He did.
Could be the same thing, but he knows the stakes are a lot higher this time. He needs to keep it real safe.
See, I'm leaning towards his innocence, although I am a very gullible person. But he did definitely perk up when you said there was a reward, and he wanted to know how much was it.
Oh, really?
Remember that?
You had him dead to rights over the $40, and he lied to your face. And now you're like, oh, I looked in his eyes. It's all good.
I didn't say that.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I get
there before the money ends up in the trash.
You don't. Look,
Who would
you don't
count the
understand.
kids
I
going
get
out?
accused all day long of not being connected. Your kids. You got to know when you look into the eye. And by the way, I do, but that covers 96%. There's fucking 4% that looking in the eye doesn't cover for me, and I don't know who it covers for. I don't know. Maybe the kid's a sociopath. I hope so. He'll go much further in life.
What are you talking about?
All right, listen.
Do you think Natalia has any intel on
He's the
Sonny?
mastermind.
But I just think that she might know what Sonny's up to.
I'll sweat her too. Yeah, she'll come walking in. She'll see me waterboarding her American Girl doll. She'll yell, "Daddy, no!" I'll say, "Olga, get the bucket. Now start singing, Stooley, or whatever we call him, pigeon, parrot, canary." So sing like a canary. I miss old time prison. You know what the problem with prison is? We don't have enough white people in prison anymore.
And how?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back, there was old time white person slang for prison.
The clank.
Yeah, it's like I'll be singing. Yeah, there's a
the
lot
pokey.
of dropping dimes, a lot of good gangster. Like there was a white gangster talk. Now it's just like I'll fucking kill you.
I know.
It's no fun.
That's the poetry.
I saw
Glamorous.
Shawshank. All they ever wanted was soap and rock hammers.
Right.
That's all they ever smuggled in.
Yeah.
And posters.
Yeah. Speaking of smuggling in, and why I've said it many times, Chuck Manson needs to die. I just heard on the news someone was trying to smuggle in a cell phone to him today. And the notion that he presided over those killings 15 years before a cell phone had ever been invented, and now they're $18 at every gas station, and just the fact that he gets to potentially experience a cell phone call is fucking insane to me.
I agree with Charles Manson.
Oh, I know.
Don't let that get
I
in
know.
between us, though. I just do.
All right. I don't know why. It's been bothering me ever since Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, cut our PSA for the airport about bringing in the pocket knives, but I don't know if we have any music. Or you probably put music behind it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
When he was doing it live?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was music behind it.
All right. I just want to hear it again because it cracked me up for those who for those who missed it. He just did it on the fly. That's what I love about him.
I smell a PSA coming on. I could see, again, I won't tell you what to say, but hi, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. There's a lot of fucked up assholes out there that are doing a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, just have fun with it. Just give us a try. I'll give you a little take. I'll give you,
Oh, so I'm doing a PSA?
Sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is Steve Austin.
Well, sorry. Let's start with Stone Cold. I think people kind of know you that way.
All right, this is Stone Cold.
Well, with a little more energy.
All right, this is Stone Cold, and there's a lot of
Hold on.
fucked
I
up
stepped
people
on
out
you.
there.
I stepped on you. Go ahead. Take it clean.
All right, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's a fucked up world we're living in, and people are doing some really bad shit. The TSA is about to start allowing pocket knives and horse shit that's under 2 3/4 of an inch back on the airlines. So make sure that when you're packing up with your loved ones, that you're packing a blade just like every other sick, sorry motherfucker that's about to get on the same flight as you. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Have a good flight.
Wow.
Really moving.
Wow.
I like that.
I think, by the way, that's not just going to be NBC. That's going to be in the in-flight. When they put that, when the monitor comes down before they get to the safety stuff.
All
Wow,
right.
that was powerful.
Love Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right, we got some phone calls. We have an interesting story that happened to me over the weekend when I was doing a race. I think I'll just show you a picture of the two cars. Now, hold on for a second. We went out up north to Laguna Seca and racetrack, and I did the qualifying on Saturday, and then Sunday is the race, but Sunday morning is practice, and I never go to practice. And the reason I never go to practice is I'm not going to win the race anyway, number one. Number two, the cars break. They're stressed really hard, and they break all the time. People break major things, and they fix them there at the track, which they like take their transmissions out, replace their clutches overnight, like that kind of stuff. But I don't want to get into that shit, so I don't want to break the car, so I'll just do the race. So we went out, the five of us, we all slept in the same room. Like I said, everyone made their little beds on the ground, watch Fast and Furious, drink Mangria.
Do you get the bed, or did you sleep with someone in the bed?
I get the bed. I give Matt D'Andrea the bed because he's little and he doesn't snore. Although I did do the forget someone else is in the bed with me, stretch out, move, and whacked him in the face thing. I'll do that. There's a farting version of that I do as well, too. That sort of wee hours in the morning, you just space out, you don't know where you are kind of thing. Let a little gas fly. Chris Maxipata took somebody then came into our room. I think that may have been Jeff or Rob, and took the pads off what would have been like a window seat and threw it on the ground, took a bathrobe and made a bed. Chris Maxipata made a bed on the sofa, and then everyone just made beds on the floor, put the pillows on the floor, used towels and bathrobes, and we turned up the heat, so it was like 72 degrees, and everyone just slept away. I did not make the practice, which I don't, because I go, someone's going to break, someone's going to fuck up. When we got to my race was at like 2:30 in the afternoon. When we rolled into the track about noon and got a little, did you see here what happened? And then walked over to the BMW pits and saw one of the cars over there, the BMW. I got a couple shots of that one. You can go to AdamCarolla.com if you want to take a look at it. There's even one more. So you can see there's quite a bit of damage to the front end of the BMW. Then I said, what happened? And I said, got into it with an Alpha. And then we walked over to the Alpha pit. It feels a little morbid, and that's what the Alfa Romeo, that is. Alfa Romeo, number 85. That's what that car looked like. They're bits of the BMW that were buried in the door.
Yeah, the sides all mangled.
This dude's a trooper, by the way, because this guy wired the side of the doors all caved in badly. The car does not look like it would operate. The guy changed the clutch the night before, he told me. Stayed up all night changing the fucking clutch and then completely got T-boned by this BMW. This dude wired the door shut and raced, which I liked. I like the cut of this guy's Jeep. He literally put holes. Badass. He drilled holes in his door and his quarter panel, and he wired the door shut, and he went out to race.
Did he get spun out or something? Because that is side impact on front impact, as far as I can tell.
No. Both of them, I mean, he made it back to the pits, I think, and then anyway. So you can see what happened, the literal carnage, and I'll tell you the rest of the funny story. I'm trying to think. I'll wait for Titus to tell you the rest of the funny story, but just put it to you. I'll put it to you this way. I then had a debate with one of the guys in my run group as to whose fault it was. And I took the side of the Alfa Romeo guy. So that guy was just on the track. The BMW got off the track, got back onto the track, and T-boned him. And he said, yeah, but he should have made room for him. Well, we argued about this, just me and a random guy from my run group. Nice guy. And later on, ran into almost the same circumstances ourselves, both of us on both sides of our argument. So I can show you some footage of that later. It's just bizarre that he and I squared off in this debate, and then he and I found ourselves
in the exact same thing.
Same turn, same track, same part, exact same thing. So I'll show you that, and a couple of you will wait for Titus. Yeah, turn 7, top of the hill. Same thing. As they described it, I know exactly what happened. But so
he was the one that slid off and...
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And he did. He would have been the BMW, and I would have been the Alfa. And I couldn't figure it out. But my argument was, look, if you got off the track, then that's your bad. Like, if you got off the track, then you started this. His thing was you could have lifted off and got out of the way, but you stayed on it, meaning the guy was racing.
Right.
It's hard to say.
Isn't the car that hits the other car usually at fault, or do those kind of traffic rules don't really apply on a
Nothing
racetrack?
really applies, it seems like. The good news is the guy at the BMW seemed to be in a decent mood about it, and the guy at the Alfa Romeo, considering the BMW was almost totaled or pretty much totaled, and the guy at the Alfa Romeo had pretty heavy damage done, seemed to be in good spirits about it. The guy in the Alfa Romeo said the track goes around in a counterclockwise direction. Everyone's in the middle, so his banged up door's always on the outside. All the people on the inside can never see that side of his car. So he's like, no problem. You know what I mean? Like if Tina Fey just showed you her good side the entire time. Never saw that weird scar thing.
Very cups half full way of looking at all of that.
I like the cut of those guys' jibs, and there's no insurance. I don't know how you settle up with that.
Just leave a note.
Your insurance doesn't pay for it. So somebody owes somebody. That Alpha could have been worth $250,000. I don't know. It's not going to cost $250,000 to fix it, but it could cost $40,000 to fix it, and the BMW could cost $70,000. I don't know. I don't know who pays, how that works, what the deal is. All right, let's take a quick break. We have some phone calls. What calls do we like up here? Which drugs do I condone?
I'm interested in what you and Titus have to say about number 2. I want to know what you think makes people successful in the entertainment industry.
All right, we will do that, and we'll do it all right after this.
Hey, Adam, Steve here. Listen to the show every day. Great podcast, by the way. Anyways, I was wondering how you feel about the old guy that dyes his hair, wears really tight T-shirts, and drives like a Corvette. What's your feelings on that?
For a free 6-month trial, click the eVoice banner on AdamCarolla.com or go to eVoice.com and use the promo code ADAM.
Christopher Titus in the studio. Good to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me in, man. Appreciate it.
Stand-up special, The Voice in My Head, available Monday, April 1st on ChristopherTitus.com. Yeah. Only $9 in nearly 2 hours of mirth.
You continue to inspire, my friend.
By the great one. As far as the old guy with the funky hair and the Corvette and the True Religion jeans, I've said many times, everybody needs my buddy Ray to go hang out with them for a while, because if I so much as tried to leave the house in cowboy boots, he'd be like, "What's up, homo?" I'd be like, "What?"
That's my dad.
You get some sort of gay roundup somewhere? You're going to go, you're going to Mr. Fister, leading a line dance? Where are you going? I'd go, just cowboy boots. No fucking way. Go put some fucking tennis shoes on. That's too gay. No way.
My dad thought GQ stood for goddamn queer. I swear to God. What are you reading that magazine for?
There you go. So if you get your Titus's dad from the grave.
Oh, yeah, from the grave.
From the grave.
Trust me, he's
well,
stuck in my brain.
He's not doing anything right now.
The ghost of Titus's dad, or my buddy Ray, could go hang out with you, and then he'd see your funky, weird old man orange hair and the weird tight jeans that weren't age appropriate and so on and so forth. Then he'd make fun of you. These people have people around them that never say anything. That's the problem. But I do like, there's a part of me that likes the fact that the guy's still trying to stay in the game.
Yeah, I kind of like it, but it's the pink baseball hat. Every once in a while, they'll grab a baseball hat that's just wrong. It's again, there's certain guys like there's some Armenian people that can put this shit together and make it really work.
Right.
When you hit 65 and you're driving around that Corvette and you're not in the gym anymore, but you're wearing a shirt that should be only gym approved. Like, you have to start. You're no longer 35. Start being, you can wear a cool leather jacket, but for God's sakes.
But ultimately, at some point, these guys, it's sort of this random reinforcement, but with blowjobs, which is at some point somebody fucks these guys, and then they think this is a winning hand that they're going to take to the grave, and they fuck them for reasons unknown.
Pension and healthcare.
It's like it's ultimately the woman's fault, because if you just let these guys dry up and die on the vine for a good couple of years of zero pussy with the orange hair and the New Religion jeans and the Corvette, they would switch up their game.
And it probably, or most likely, could be a pity fuck. and yet the guy thinks it's something about his outfit at the time, and so it gets locked in.
Yeah, and by the way, Corvette's 6 years old, bro. It's not the car either.
Yeah,
Come on, man. You know
no. Corvette's a good car. It's
a great car. But
a fucking buck for buck. Best sports car.
Are you
out
kidding
there.
me? I got rid of my Z06. It's the worst mistake I ever made. I'm just saying.
I'd say the marriage was probably the worst. But
wow.
this be second
and you
worst.
always start there. Like we literally in 3 minutes. Wham!
Wow, come on, selling a used Corvette and then
not only
being
that,
taken to the cleaners by a witch. I mean, come on,
dude. Getting divorced to this specific woman is like having AIDS, but Magic Johnson AIDS. It's just gonna be with you forever, and it's never gonna really kill you. You'll never have any fucking peace. She never stops. And on the way over, literally, I'm texting while I'm driving, angrily texting her about something going on with the kids. It's horrible. Never get divorced. I won't let you get divorced. If I find that you're gonna even thinking about it,
no.
Well, don't.
Listen.
It's the worst thing ever. You either. None of you guys.
Listen. I keep
stay with the bad person?
No.
Find a way to kill them slow. There's something you can put in their food.
No.
See, I made the mistake.
Not even slow. I have a hobo with a machete under glass that says "break in case of emergency." My house.
I like it.
And he knows what to do when he comes out too.
And he knows who to go for.
It could backfire on you.
Yeah.
But
oxygen activates
He
him.
knows exactly who to go for and how this is going to work.
Smart. It's the best kind of defense.
Oh, it's like I get it now. I just get it now. I get it now why people. I used to think, why the hell are they supposed to love each other? No, I get it.
I've had this conversation with my wife, my beautiful, adoring, and lovely wife.
She is great,
Lynette.
by the way.
I love her, but I said, listen, I've had the conversation where I've done hey, this Mangria, that's half your company. You own half of Mangria. Whether you know it or like it or not, you own it. So get to work on that website and the white bottles or whatever it is. And she's like, I don't know if I want to this, that, the other. And I said, listen, you could divorce me just because you would then own half of Mangria. Now, you wouldn't be able to use it because I would take my Jag, fill it with fertilizer, drive it in this car, and drive it into the home and take us all out.
Right.
I'd go Ruby Ridge. But you will own...
But for that brief time, she would own the company.
I'd go actually, it's more Waco. But I said,
right, it definitely
you own this, like whether you know it or not. And like, if I was Titus, like let's just say... I built this company up, and then she started cheating on me with my best friend, and then she just went back and said, well, I own half of Mangria. I would want to kill myself. I would go insane. Yeah.
Well, but what you're saying is an interesting form of incentive, which is help me make money so that you can have half of it when you leave me.
Yes.
And learn how to run it. Learn how to run it.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Plan for the future. No, for the kids' college.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, my girl now, because we're getting, I'm getting married in August again.
Great.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man. Why? That's not good. The reaction from both of you sucks ass.
Well,
you guys
because we just talked all about how marriages can go south and never do it.
But here's the reason. Like this girl was raised by a Marine, and her mom's got a PhD in fine art. It's like different. My other, it was that house on the corner where there was always a broke Chevelle that never got fixed.
Yeah.
It never got better. Every once in a while, one wheel would change. Like he got one good wheel, and he would put that on, but the car never moved, and the hood it was always 2 inches off the fender. It's just horrible. That was their house. The Aerosmith banner in the window, that was there. That's where.
Wow.
That's who I married.
Right.
Okay. So literally crystal meth. I actually paid for her sister's crystal meth cracked open teeth. That's the kind of guy I was.
Wow.
In marriage. Yeah. So this girl, on the other hand, 5'11", she's in Vanity Fair.
You should get half those teeth.
She was no, you ain't lying. She's in the Vanity Fair comedy issue. She's funny. But she helped me produce the new special we just did, and we did it again. Taking advice, you have no idea the difference you have made in this career because you said with the podcasting, started doing the podcasting. It's changed my numbers on the road, like you said it would. So now I got booked. Like I was booked last December through 2014. I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. So the podcast is going well. So I decided, well, this time I got raped so bad on Love Is Evil. Like it's amazing how this business works. It's amazing when you figure out how they make money off of what you do, and how angry. Like I was angrier after I paid the bills and paid for it myself than I've ever been at like not getting it checked. Like I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It only cost this much.
Yeah.
So
and you own it,
right? So, and we owned it. So she actually produced it with me. We put the special on. We not only that, instead of giving the room away, we sold all the seats. So I actually had paid for the special by the time we got done.
Yeah, you charge $20, $25 a seat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You put 500,000 people into the venue, you pay for the production of it by the people that attend, and now the rest is just gravy.
And had she gone, I know you can just handle that. I'll be at the show. we would have ended the relationship. But she
Right.
was calling radio and handling everything, and I really have a partner this time, which is
Keep
weird.
her, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a partner in Mangria as
It could
well.
go horribly sideways. Well,
No.
see, you did the smart thing. You invented an alcoholic beverage to get through your marriage. So she's great, but you actually have your own alcoholic beverage that you're like, I love you too.
No,
man.
it's fun. She's throwing like the white Mangria party and having the fun, and it's like, look, it's not, as I say, it's not like I invented a new form of siding.
Right.
For that's hurricane proof. It's a booze that's fun. Go out there and go sick, as my gay
I'm drinking
friends
it right
would
now,
say.
and it is quite good.
Thank you. All right, Titus, I know you love cars.
Yes.
And I was at the track last weekend, and I just had this weird story. I don't know if you saw the pictures of the crashed up cars.
Yeah, I did.
That we put up there.
The Alpha made me a little sick, actually. The BMW, not so much.
Alpha,
but the Alpha made me a little sick.
Well, the guy raced. What we did is there's a guy named Dave Stone, and Dave Stone has a 510. I'm driving a BRE 510, a real one. And there's a lot of clones out there.
Bitchly.
And these guys are hard-charging guys, let's say.
I want to call you on something, though. That was like a girl who's wearing shoes that are fake Pradas and a girl who's actually wearing Pradas. You just did, that's what chicks do. A real one.
Well, you will see
that's kind of a little
the race
bitchy move right
had
there.
a few clones in it,
Right.
which is nice, which should not be mistaken for the real McLaren. So, they're guys that are going at it pretty hard.
Right.
And as you know, the two guys already got into it pretty good. And then I had an argument with a guy named Dave Stone. And here's how seriously Dave Stone takes this. A couple things. I said to him before the race, because I don't know that much, I go, what kind of tire pressure should I be running in this car on a day like today?
So you mispracticed, and then prior to race, you're going, hey, you know what? Should we put some air on these tires?
Yeah, what should I do?
What do you think we should do?
You know what he said to me? He said 32 in the front, 29 in the rear, passenger side, 29 and a half. In the driver's side.
Staggered half a pound?
Yeah, I said, because we're turning left. He said, that's right. I said, holy shit, you're serious. Okay, so I did it. The same guy I had an argument with because he said, up on top of turn 6, on the left-hander on the top of turn 6, the BMW got off the track, got back on the track. It was the fault of the guy who was on the track. He should have made room. It wasn't the BMW's fault. I said, I think it's the fault of the guy who got off the track.
Agreed.
Right. Well, smash cut to our race, smash cut to him riding up my ass, and then smash cut to what you'll see here. This is all this is out of the back of my car camera. That's
So, just let me say, if you're off the track, you have no more rights in a race.
Yeah, but it depends how far off the track you get.
Well, you drop a wheel, that's one thing, but
this is the guy, Dave Stone, up my ass the whole race.
Is that the fake 210? Is that the clone?
Well, you can watch him get off. Hey, Jeff, we're going to show footage of him. All right,
By the way, that was a nice little recovery. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, let's show it again.
That was nice.
We're going to montage him up my ass and then go to that thing? All right.
Now, wait a minute. So that was the incident?
Yeah, but I thought it was coming later. That's screwed things up. But we'll go back and I'll show it to you
No,
again.
you shouldn't have sucked up on him because he would just he dropped 2 wheels off and got back in. The BMW, it looked like that guy was so far off that he T-boned the Alpha.
Yeah, well, he did the same thing at the same spot. He just got 8 inches further off the track and lost it, in other words. So this is me.
He's coming up on you, man.
Well, because I missed a shift. And
you probably think about the tire pressure thing.
Yeah. He gets in front. He gets off of the track pretty good.
Oh, that's almost off.
And then, but I didn't lift off, and he tucked in. He tucked in behind me. But it was funny that you can stop it. That's
no harm, no foul, right there.
That was a human being that I was having an argument with, and we essentially almost recreated the exact same accident on the exact turn.
But it looks like there's no way if he got off sideways like that you would have had the same accident. That BMW had to be.
No, he did. The BMW got off, got
sideways.
Well, he got just a little bit.
Right.
A little bit further off and hooked up and turned in and went right into the passenger side door.
Well, if you're off the track, man, it's no rules. I'm sorry. You are not on the racing surface. You stop racing. You tell everybody passing. It's clear. Who's this Dave Stone guy?
If you're off the track,
nice guy.
Here's my question: Do you have a lot of control about when you enter again, or
not so much? Not so much because you're on gravel and you're not hooking up into anything.
Allison, did you see how the yellow car was just like the Datsun was all over the place?
Yeah.
That he held that together was pretty amazing.
Yes,
As a dude, I was like, oh shit, yes.
He's a good driver.
I would, yeah.
You can go to AdamCarolla.com and take a look at that if you like. All right. Look how good that BRE car looks up there. Christopher Titus is
you piss me
with
off,
us.
actually. All the stuff you have makes me. I come here. I come to see
I
your thing. And it's gonna be
inspire
fun.
it doesn't make him happy?
I inspire you,
or
my
does
friend.
It doesn't make him happy. Does it ever? Does anything make him happy though? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I get a lot. You know what? Here's what I say to people all the time. People say happy too much. They should replace happy with satisfied. Happy is super relative, and it just doesn't work for it's very temporary. Satisfied is a much better way to go through life than happy.
Yeah, because you can't pursue happiness.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't attain it.
It's nice if your disposition is a generally good disposition and a happy disposition. People say all the time, "Oh, that sounds like fun," or "You're doing stand-up. That sounds like fun," or "You're doing a special. It sounds like fun." No, it's a ton of work, but it's super satisfying, right?
At the end, yes.
And super, and
there's no happy in it.
Couldn't be
frankly.
prouder. Yeah, but there's a feeling that far exceeds happy.
Yeah.
When you hold that DVD in your hand, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to put it out, put it out online and own it, and not have anybody mess with it, and to actually finally do it the way I want it, and not be wrong. That's
right.
Because I've bitched for so long about I'm doing it this way, and this is going to do it. I'm going to do it my way, and then it got done, and I was like, oh, this actually doesn't suck.
Right.
That's the fear. I can do it. Let me do it. And then someone goes, oh, okay.
Right.
And then all you can do is shit the bed. So I didn't do that.
Yeah, to bust your son stealing is satisfying.
Now,
it's not.
Now, did he? Now, I heard. Now, your kid stole some money from you.
I don't know. Nobody knows.
6-year-olds don't know what money really is.
I know.
So
well, they know it translates into a bunch of shit they want, sort of, but they don't really. That's about as far. That's about as far as they get with it.
I'm worried about my son-in-law, but I think he's a little. He's like super smart on some things, and when it comes to money, could give a flying rat's ass. Doesn't care, doesn't want it.
Bring him around your money.
Yeah. Let him spend some time with my son. All right. Let's take a couple of phone calls here. Titus, what was funny because Jay Moore was on the show doing his black woman voice the other time.
Yo, man, what's that mean, man? That's like not even cool, man. Doing a black, so white dude doing a black voice, that is, it's kind of racist.
It did. It seemed racist to me. It was funny, but there were uncomfortable laughs in the room. Do you know what I mean?
and that's you saying it. Wow, that's
please no, stay in the black man voice, please.
Yo, man, what do you mean stay in it?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is I laughed, but it was an uncomfortable laugh. Yes, Alison?
Oh, yes.
So like one of those white people laughs that you say that like the black dude gonna kick my ass kind of laugh. That white people do. They're praying that like, am I cool to be part enough to laugh about this, or should I
laughing and looking around like, is it okay to laugh, and then laughing because of the discomfort.
I see you white people do that. Look for black people laugh when you tell a racist joke. I see that. They're nervous,
uncomfortable,
and then the volume drop down a little bit.
Uncomfortable laugh.
You glance. The white people, oh shit, glance. Yeah, I seen that.
I have a lot of black friends.
Oh no, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's a real good one.
I do. I'm very close.
Name 3.
David Allen Greer.
Yeah,
that's
all right.
David Allen and Greer. So I think that's 3.
And he got so many voices in his head, man. That dude. All right, I'll give you that for 3.
So I'll take David Allen Greer's 3. You want to take some phone calls? Who should we talk to over here? I like line 4. Let's see. Hey, Mike. You got a question about my moral compass?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you know. I mean, even I've seen tapes or heard tapes back from the 90s on the Love Line, I think it was, about everybody should raise their own kids. How'd you come up with these just pearls of wisdom of yours?
It's all everything is the simplest answer is always the right answer. And I'm right because I don't really have a dog in the fight. I know there's people that feel like they have to represent this group, or they come from privilege, so they're scared to speak, or they don't come from this group, or they do come from that group, so there's a party line or whatever. It's very simple. I mean, it's a super simple equation. As I always used to say, if everybody raised their kids like Dr. Drew and his wife, you could sleep with the front door open and just a screen latched every night. You could leave your briefcase on the passenger seat of your car and the windows down, park it on the street. There would be no such thing as crime.
What does Drew do to his kids? Are they scared to death of him?
He raised them. He stayed and raised them. He stayed married to his wife.
Right.
He focused on education. He disciplined them when it was necessary. And he raised good little individuals and little citizens. Now, everybody has their foibles. Everybody has their own little private stuff that they're into. I'm sure 2 of them are into autoerotic asphyxiation. That's their business.
But that's on play dates. That's only on play dates.
Yeah.
That's not in Drew's house.
But they would never break into your car, break into your house, vandalize.
And use your belt.
And use your
right,
belt.
Exactly. They bring their own accoutrement.
Yeah,
so nice.
Right. Hey, son, that's my gi tie. Now give it back. It's yellow. I earned it. Now listen, it used to be white. The point is this: it's just they would not hurt and take anyone else's property. They would not vandalize, and they would not put any graffiti on any overpasses. You know what I mean? Like
good kids.
They're just good kids. Like,
right.
We're never gonna have to worry about them.
Right.
So I just started looking at that and realizing, well, what if we did this times everybody? You know, we all know the families who stay together, and there's always room for the one kid that's the bad seed, the black sheep, the troubled whatever, to just kind of
use him as an example. He's an example. I was an example.
Yeah, I'm saying a black sheep. But by and large, whatever problems we had as a society and as a planet would almost just wither up and go away and within a generation.
Yeah, once the bad people died off, we'd have to die.
Yeah, you'd have to kill them.
I have an idea to get rid of those people, though. What I want to do is, because every 4 times a month for the next 6 years, I want to do Lion Day, where we release thousands of lions into the cities to just get rid of the people not paying attention. Because that would speed up your thing, and we arm the children so they can protect themselves for the lions.
All the people who are tweeting would be gone.
They're walking into poles. You ever seen me like walking and tweeting and slam into a wall? Funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I say we combine the lines with my Coliseum idea,
yes,
which is big banner, free cockfight for all Raiders fans.
Nice.
Then they all file into the Coliseum, and then we let the lions free.
There you go. So I'm in.
That combines your lions.
That's like 4th of July Lion Day.
It thins the herd a little, because for all we know, you could be on the street that day texting and walking or listening to your earbuds and taken out by Kimba.
But that's my theory, is that nothing kills us anymore.
Hold on, black person, you know who Kimba is? Kimba's the white lion.
Yeah, man, he gets all the press too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Kimba, the white lion. That's right.
So I'm just saying that we would get, nothing kills us anymore. That's the problem. Nothing kills us. Nothing takes us out. I'm worried that I'm getting an accident. My airbag's going to suffocate my car. My car has 18 airbags. I'm worried it's going to just crush my spine but over airbag. So if we had something that killed us, and we would tune us up. We need a tune up, and raising the kids can't happen until we get rid of all these assholes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, look. It's a pretty simple equation. And
I could be one of them. I'm saying I may go first Lion Day. I may forget that I planned it, and then all of a sudden I'm just taken out.
We'll Drew and I will have a. I'm laughing because she was so quiet, but I did all the yelling. But we had a teacher, school teachers, and educator, wrote a book, and worked in the inner city, worked at the Lily White schools, been all over the place. Basically said, here's what's wrong with education, and just interviewed her for an hour, and she just said, look, it's the parents. There's parents on the shitty schools, don't focus, they're broken, the family's a mess, there's nothing.
Right.
And look, I know it. I don't. What's confusing to me? It'll air tomorrow. What's confusing to me is that other people don't know it. It's so fucking intuitive. It's just so there. We all grew up with the family of the parents that were together, that focused on the kids, that made sure they did the homework, and then we all had the ones where they were running wild in the street, and everyone was divorced, and dad was drinking too much, and no one did homework. And where are those kids now? And where are the other kids now? All right, now do that times 1 billion.
Right, but that didn't always work out, though, because I had this guy.
Not always.
This kid named Glenn, whose dad was a teacher, and his mom had this great job, and the family was great, and the girl daughters were in gymnastics, and Glenn got straight A's in math and was in algebra and just kicking ass. He ended up being this guy that sat in the go-kart and glued down highway dots. That's what he
really?
did. He was the guy. They have
that guy.
He was the guy that
gun.
He got. My thing was he got to drive a go-kart for a job. That's kind of a cool thing. But he basically would go. They would have the truck would, and then he would drop. He would put the dots on the.
You know what those guys look forward to?
Doesn't someone have to do it?
Yeah, someone has to do it. Yeah.
You know what they look forward to the most? Those guys?
No, what, Adam?
Every 3 or so miles, they get to put the blue one down for the fire hydrant, and that's what really breaks it up. You know what I mean? That's what
Otherwise,
keeps them
it would
going.
be monotonous.
Otherwise, it would be monotonous,
They would
but
just,
they pull the
they
blue
would go
one
crazy.
out.
You'd have a lot more of those guys snapping, but no, you never hear one of those guys shooting up a mall.
Hey, Mike, at least he's gainfully employed, though.
Yeah.
So I got my moral compass by not having a compass. I don't have a religion. I wasn't raised by anybody. I was never told a thing, and I never read a book. I just sat around and observed everything around me all the time and came up with my ideas based on not saying I'm a Republican or a Democrat or I'm conservative or progressive or I'm Catholic or Jewish. I just sat in a neutral space and just observed everything and then figured it out.
You do have a very astute asshole detector. You do have a very. Don't you notice that? Like you always seem. And some of your answers are insane, but I would say that you, of almost everybody I know, you always come down on the right side of the issue. Most of the time.
Well,
except for the Mexicans. I think that you have a problem with that.
I just come down on whatever I see. Look, like it's in terms of, like, if you want to bring up the Mexicans, I love Mexicans.
I know you do, but in a different way.
L.A. is turning into Mexico, and we have to decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Right.
I don't think it's a good thing, considering they're fleeing Mexico to get here.
Yeah.
That's the math that I'm doing. I do a very simple math with all countries, which is whenever I hear the people go, it's not the people, it's the leaders. I go, what part of Canada are they from? And they go, oh, no, they're born in that country. And then it's like, all right, so the leaders are the same nationality as the fucked up country and all the people they lead. Right. So I'm doing the math. Somehow this country has got itself into the shape it's in. There's circumstances.
Mexico's the bad
agree.
parent. Mexico's that bad parent, is what you're saying.
Here's what I'm saying to everybody, and I've said it a million times. We need a culture. That culture is called the United States.
Right.
That's our culture. Our culture values hard work, and it values education, and it values honesty, and it values
guns,
good citizenship,
and everybody owns
guns,
one.
And everything else.
Right.
We have a culture. It's hot rods.
Hot rods.
It's apple pie. It's whatever it is, but that's what we value. You're allowed, as I've said many times, my grandfather came here from Hungary, and he cooked goulash. I don't want a.
So you'd have kicked him out.
I don't want to live in a country
He'd have been gone.
Where people.
This goulash cooking motherfucker came to this country. You know when you're in America right now, man? Apple pie, asshole.
Grandpa,
apple pie.
it's
Yeah,
called
let's
spam.
Go. Yeah, right.
Now get used to it. Yeah. No, I love the part where he cooks his goulash and enjoys his native food, and then, you know, enjoys 4th of July and enjoys this country and works hard and pays his taxes and then goes back and eats his native dish and does what it is. When he wants to break off and create a little Hungary that he can live in.
And sell goulash on the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's right. That unlicensed
in
goulash.
In a bag.
Bootleg goulash.
Bootleg bag
Black
goulash.
market goo.
Goulash. Yeah, right.
Yeah. When he wants to start doing that, and then he demands that all the street signs be painted up in English and Hungarian, and then he wants a Hungarian mayor so that Hungarian mayor will be more sympathetic to his Hungarian causes, and then he speaks Hungarian back and forth, and then English isn't being spoken in his house, and then he wants a school where the teachers speak Hungarian. Now at a certain point I go, slow down there, Lotzi.
Yeah.
That's short, Laszlo. And your brother Bela and Bougie and Gabi. Slow it down a little bit.
Your brother Klopp.
You came here from Hungary or Hungaria.
Because it sucked.
Well, it wasn't as good as this.
Okay.
I'm not saying it sucked.
No, it stays because things are okay. Like you said, satisfied.
They leave
because it sucked. Yeah, that's why you left.
It either sucked or it was marginally. Whatever we are, it was below this, at least in your mind.
Compared to us.
So you came here to do this. So I don't know why you've come here and decided to set up Little Hungary, Little Budapest in the middle of North Hollywood. Well, back in the day, that was sort of impossible. You had to assimilate. Now, creating a smaller version of the place you left that wasn't working out so well, let's really step back and look at a big picture version of.
I will say this: we didn't come over and say, "Hey, man, let's all put them loincloths back on and grab a spear." We were like, "Hey, they got chicken."
And waffles, to be fair.
Yeah. That came later, man.
So all I am saying to the good folks of Mexico and the hardworking families who would like to get ahead.
I don't want you tempering this right now. I get what you're saying, and here's
focus on this country, focus on education, focus on hard work. I know it's easier to start a little enclave where you speak your own language and read your own signs, but big picture, not going to be good for future generations.
Or you can't run shit. You won't be able to run shit. Eventually, if you really want to take over the country, you really want to run shit, learn how to be part of this country. I agree with this wholeheartedly, only because what bothers me the most is when a group comes over and you say something like that, and you're like, okay, you came to America, you want to be an American, you know, we love America. Then you got here and you were here for 2 years, and then you started building something that looked exactly like the shit in your country, you know, the architecture, whatever. Why are you doing that? You left there. Why do you want to have it here? And why are you incensed now that we're going, hold on. You can be who you are. We're America. You can come. Anybody can come here. Look around. Walk the streets. Holy shit! There's people here that we go. Obviously, anybody can come here.
No,
I'm just saying.
And then some.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Why are you incensed when we go? Hold on. You're in America.
Well, but
why
listen.
don't you?
All right. Let's be honest. Why?
I'm trying.
I know. Why are you surprised, or why is anybody surprised if you took any group or any species and you brought them to a new place, they would start doing what they did in their former place? That's a natural thing to me.
Yeah, but
if you took whatever color you are, wherever you're from, you take, or whatever species you are. Look, if I took red ants and put them in a different plot of sand, and they'd start doing what they do. That's what they do. That's where they come from. That's what's in them. I understand that. That's what I would do. That's what everyone. Look, if I move to, you fill in Mexico, you fill in France, whatever it is, if you and me and a bunch of other guys like us, we'd start talking about hot rods. We'd want to speak English. We wouldn't want to learn Spanish or French. It'd be a pain in the ass for us.
You'd want to drink mangria, not
I'd
the local
drinking
whatever.
Mangria.
We'd want to start a drag strip.
Right. We'd start doing what we do. Now, back in the day, our society would sort of mandate, not necessarily through legislation, but just through the pressure of society, no. You need to speak English.
Right.
You need these signs. When you take the driver's test, it's not going to be in 114 languages. It's going to be in English.
Right.
So you want to get a driver's license? You want to be part of this? It's good. Good. You came here to be part of this. Now we're going to kind of pressure you to be part of it, but it's a good pressure. It's a good thing. We want you to be part of this country. Now it's getting a little like that guy got a couple tires off into the dirt. It's getting a little waggly in the back, and we've lost it a little bit. And people that are talking about being part of this country are now being called racist, which I find interesting.
That's when I hear you talk like that. That's what incenses me. When someone who it's like if I moved to Russia right now to one of the Soviet countries, I would have to start acting like that. I would have to start parking my car in the middle of the street, carrying a gun all the time, just shooting people randomly. I would have to do that.
Sure.
And if I didn't, I would get killed myself.
But you could still have a cheeseburger on a Saturday night.
Right, in my own house. Because I lived in an apartment. When I first moved to L.A., I lived in these apartments in West Hollywood, and every apartment building I lived in smelled, you'd come in on like Saturday, and it smelled like everybody was cooking stuff from their homeland. And you just knew it. And I couldn't wait to get my own house, frankly.
Right.
but
start deep frying Snickers bars.
That's America, but you don't change America. You don't change America into your country if you left your country. I'm just more mad that we've stopped being a society. No one gives a flying rat's ass about anybody else's opinion, and that's why you came to America, because you could be who you wanted to be here. Except once you got here, then you were like, no, we're going to do it my way, and I don't really give a shit what you say. That's what's going on in Congress and everything. I'm to the point now.
Which is actually very American.
Yeah. What?
To be like, fuck it, I'm going to do it my way. I don't care what you think.
Yeah, but not even okay. But the thing is that no one's even paying attention to anybody else now. There's no room for any other opinions now. It's not like I'm just going to go over here and you do what you're going to do over there. It's like, no, you can't do what you're doing over here. You got to do it this way.
No,
and that's what's going on right now in the country.
I said I want a melting pot and not a fruit salad.
Right,
and I feel
salad
like
we're
fruit salading which is we got the grapes and the pears and the peaches, but I want us all
I know it's in a fruit salad.
blended into a beautiful smoothie.
Yeah, smoothie. There you go.
Where I get to be the whipped cream at the top, the white stuff at the top.
There you go.
What I mean?
Right.
Here we go.
I get
Here
to
we
be
go.
the white stuff at the top of the smoothie if they want that. That'll be
That's
All
right, man. You always, I always got to end up there, right? For a second, I was going to start singing "America the Beautiful," and then what happens is I got to be the white stuff on the top.
I got the privilege. No, actually, somebody tweeted me something interesting today. Speaking of racism, it was an article, and I can find it for you at a later time, and I'll do a little bit of paraphrasing. But they picked a bunch of different examples. Like when it came to laying off people in bad times, black people got laid off before white people. And when it came to hiring, white people got hired before black people. And when it came to bank loans, white people got more bank loans than black people did.
You know that's right.
But the article ended with, guess who got more bank loans than white people? Asian people did. And guess who got laid off last? Asian people did. And guess who got hired first? Asian people did. So you think of this racism, and then you go, the banks are racist, right? Because banks are looking at your FICO score. They don't even see a human being. They just see a fucking FICO score, and evidently the Asians, better than whitey. So guess who gets loans faster than whitey? Because the bank is not one guy in a hood on a horse with a flaming cross.
So y'all want a loan, do you?
He's a group of men on horses with flaming crosses.
Yes.
The bank isn't anybody. It's just one big animal that wants to make money. That's all it wants to do, and it stares at FICO scores. It couldn't be racist if it wanted to.
Right.
Even if it kind of wanted to, it wouldn't really matter because it's a whole big group of things that wants to make money, and they're going to give it to the Asian guy whose FICO score is better.
He's got a 910. He's got a 910. They get him money. What bothers me is that even if it's the other way, remember when the everything went bad in 07 and 08, and everybody was like, is racist. To give those people loans so they could buy houses, that was racist.
Right.
They gave people that couldn't afford loans racist. Yeah. Like, whoa, how can it be racist both ways? If you didn't get a loan, it was racist. If you did get a loan because it was easy, it was racist. And that was a Republican thing. They were like, we need everybody to have a home. And we need to stop this shit. I'm irritated by that.
All I know is there has been...
You know you're white and you're like that.
No, I know...
Yes, you do. Say you like you being white.
Oh, no. This isn't... Listen, here's the thing.
I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing about me being white. I got no upside. If I had some white upside, that would be awesome. Like some white privilege is what I'm saying.
Aren't we kind of born into it a little bit though? I mean, aren't we?
I don't feel that I was. I know that personally. Personally, if I was black or something, Hispanic, I probably would have had an easier time getting a scholarship, getting into a college out of high school.
Right.
I did not go to college. I cleaned carpets for a living with blacks and Hispanics. And then when I was done cleaning carpets, I went to apply to be a fireman, and they said, we ain't hiring white guys. I mean, they literally said, you're white. You got a long waiting list. Oh, I know. I signed up and got a notice 8 years later to take the test. Because I was a white guy, I worked with guys who work construction who couldn't get fireman jobs in the city of L.A. because they're white, because they're trying to balance it out and make a quota. I understand what they were trying to do. Right. They always try to do, it's noble, it just ends up punishing people. It should be based on your socioeconomic standing, not the color of your skin. I was poor. I needed a job. So I then got into cleaning up trash on construction sites, digging ditches, and then swinging a hammer. But my color, my skin didn't... I would have loved to have been a fireman when I was 19. And when I took the test, there was a woman of color behind me. I asked her when she signed up, because I was asking everyone, because I signed up 8 years earlier.
Right.
And it was insane to me. That's a big 8 years, like 19 to 27, you know. And everybody at Hollywood High who was in line with me that Saturday morning, I kept saying, when did you sign up? When did you sign up? When did you sign up? Because I bet I got you all beat. Black chick behind me said Wednesday.
Wow.
So I don't know if she went on to be a great firefighter or not. All I know is as far as my white privilege goes, I don't know if people looked at me differently. I don't know if I walked into a liquor store and people went like, don't give him a hassle. Yeah, there's all that stuff. Like, I understand that stuff.
You would have been a real talkative fireman.
I would have been
though.
a chatty fireman.
That would have been very hard. Maybe they just went, hey, this guy, put him on the 8-year list. Why? Because he didn't shut the fuck up
I'm
when he came in.
20 minutes on Chilean foosball.
You ended up where you're supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. They just were like, we're never going to get shit put out.
I did. And when I got into comedy, it was, 12 white guys in an improv group. And if I was a brother or Eastern Indian or something else, I probably would have stood out, and it probably would have been a little more interesting. And
Your
if they
own
were,
show.
They were going for a show, there's no doubt that like Mindy Kaling or someone like that, being of an interesting descent and being a female, sets her apart, makes her Margaret Cho, whatever it is.
Yeah, but you got to remember, some of those were huge failures. I see. That's what when we talk about it on the podcast too. Titus podcast, by the way. After you listen to Adam's, go listen to Titus podcast.
Sorry,
we talk about. Like, I'm really upset with that. No one can see that. No one can go, like, I was just trying to bait you and see what you would do if I said you like being white. I think that we need to give all that shit up. There's a president that's black now. When is this? If you're a racist in 2013, it's like you're driving a fucking steam car. What are you doing? If you have any racial problems right now, I don't care where you're from.
Leno's a racist? You're calling Jay Leno racist?
Yes.
He's driving a steam car right now over the 405. No, here's the...
If you still believe that there's any difference,
here's what we've created. We've created a society where I'm a racist. I don't know I'm a racist. I'm not sophisticated enough, and I'm too much of a racist and a dullard to understand that I'm a racist. I'm not educated enough to understand. I don't know what I'm saying to know that I'm misogynistic, racist, or xenophobic. I don't know. That's the whole thing. I have other people have to tell me. It's sort of like an etiquette class where I'm putting my elbows on the table, and Mrs. Let's see, Heloise is telling me to get my elbows off the table. And I'm like, what's wrong with elbows on the table? And they're like, sir, that's not the way you do it. And no, you always hold the door for the woman. You don't walk in first. People are having to explain to me, you don't understand. You are racist. You just don't understand what's going on. I'm just a realist. I'm the guy who's looking at the FICO score.
Racist? Wouldn't you know if you're racist?
Well, I'll tell you the first thing I wouldn't do if I was a racist. Go on racist rants 5 times a week.
Right, exactly.
I'd play it a little closer to the vest.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a little subversive, possibly.
I would. I'd go home and think racist thoughts and masturbate. I wouldn't yell about it on the podcast.
We are such a weenie society of protection. I did this in the new special. There's a bit called The Word Retard, because I got tired. I have friends who are disabled. I hang out with them. And I wrote that show Special Unit, which we're going to film in September, by the way. The movie. We're going to film a movie. And it was about, it's basically these guys, my buddy Michael Aronin, and I gave him the bit. I don't know if they're going to play it, but basically Mike, we went to this restaurant one time, and you can't see the word retard. People, you can't see the word retard. Well, yeah, it's like the N-word. Oh, yes. Oh, no, it's not like the N-word. We never enslaved a bunch of disabled people.
We did a whole podcast on it.
Did we? Oh, was it bad?
We didn't intend to do it.
Was it bad?
No, I don't know. Yeah, no, we didn't enslave retarded people.
No, we didn't. We don't whip them at the end of the Special Olympics, although I do believe that would make the competition a lot more fierce. The point is that my buddy Michael Aronin's got cerebral palsy. He's a very funny comic, and like when he gets on stage, it takes him forever. He milks it. Just so you know, some of the people listening, disabled people use that shit against us. Mike will walk on stage, and it takes him forever, and he's knurled, and he gets to the mic, and he starts a show like this. I just want everyone to know that this happened since I got here. Don't eat the nachos. He's really funny.
I think we have the bit.
It's in the bit. But Mike, there it is. That's.
Should we listen to it?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I just did one of the jokes, but yes.
We'll be rude not to now.
Yeah. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about the word retard, because a lot of people get pissed, especially here in California. Oh my God, you can't say retard. Oh, you can't say retard. In my life, whenever I've used the word retard, never once have I thought of someone with MS or CP or Downs or autism or has got legs going out the back of their shoulders because one of their chromosomes forgot to tell a DNA strand it was going on vacation. That is just disabled. And as a matter of fact, if I ever saw someone calling someone like that retarded, they would have to deal with me physically. That's right.
Sexually or just both? Okay. Both. I argue worse, sexual.
Every man in this room has a buddy who, after his 5th beer, will hang out a car window. Hey, cops! You want to fight, you bunch of queers? That guy's a retard. By the way, if you go to Facebook, it's on Facebook. It's the first single from the show, but it's the whole story. Michael and I go to this. I'll just tell you a quick story. You got to watch the bit because Mike is fucking hilarious. We go to this restaurant. We did our show Saturday night. We go to the restaurant on Sunday morning, and we go in. And Mike, it's me, his buddy Tony, my buddy Tommy. We sit down, and the waitress comes over, asks me what I want, ask him. I mean, doesn't ask him, ask Tommy, ask Tony.
Then can I make a quick guess?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you order a pile of egg whites and eat them through doing push-ups and stabbing at them with your mouth. Because that's your body fat level.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Thanks. I don't know if we're changing the subject. So
that's a good thing.
He was complimenting your physique.
Thank you, man. I work out. Either work. My girlfriend's just 13 years younger. Either I work out or I don't get laid. So I do what I do. Mike, the waitress turns to Mike, who's knurled up, and she looks back at me and goes, "What will he have?" And at that point, I look at Mike because I know Mike's out of his mind, and I know that something's about to break off. And I look at Mike, and Mike, instead of getting, I thought he was going to lecture her. Instead of lecturing her, he turns the level of disability up to the highest level, and he goes, "I would like to order boobies. Yours will be fine, thank you." And he starts screaming. And at this point, the waitress goes, "Can you turn him off?" And I go, "No, maybe you can fiddle his switch. I'm not sure what you mean by that." For the next hour and a half, basically, he destroyed her. Basically, what Mike did for the next hour and a half is, I mean, if she brought a glass of water down, bam, he just knocked it off the desk. That was a tsunami. Uh-oh.
Right.
And he destroyed this woman's psyche. At the end of the meal, she came over and she was shaking, like she's handling the check shaking, and she goes, "I'm so sorry." Mike goes, "Don't be sorry, you're my favorite waitress. I will see you tomorrow." So we walk out, and I by the way, now I'm his friend. I didn't laugh once, and it was really hard. We walk outside, and I lose it. I finally just go, "It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life." And Mike, dead fucking serious, just looks at me and goes, "That bitch deserved it."
Wow.
That, my friend, is retard. So that's why I wrote that bit. I think we've become such overreactive, such stupid shit, and yet no one. 4,400 guys died in Iraq. You don't hear about that on the news a whole lot. We lost 3,046 people have died from handguns since Newtown. By the way, let's take the kids aside. 3,000. No one gives a flying rat's ass. Someone's mad because I said retard. You went on one of your Mexican rants. I know you hate the people.
No, it's. Let me tell you something. Churros and stones may break my bones. But didn't everyone grow up with that, with the sticks and stones thing?
Yeah, words never hurt me. But now words cut sharper.
We have...
They are
regressed, and some people look at it as progression, but I look at it as a retardation and not an advancement, that we've detuned our sensitivity in every other department, but then all our sensitivity eggs fell into this one basket, which is verbiage somehow. Everything
the narcissism basket. It's all about me, and it's all about my little group, and no one gives a flying rat's.
That is correct. All right.
So the next show I'm writing, by the way, is called Declaration of War, and it's all about this. And the show that, by the way, can I put that clip on your website? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So if you want to see the word retard, it'll be on the site. Thank you for letting me do that.
My pleasure.
Because I come here to whore my shit. You know that's why.
No shit. All right. We will. We can do 8 minutes of news with the great Alison Rosen.
That's more than usual.
I know.
Well, news with Alison Rosen.
This is my favorite part of the show, too.
She'll read some news from her iPad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's Alison. And when it's time to wrap it up, she'll sign it off with zip it cunt. It's Alison.
The constitutionality of same-sex marriage is being discussed or argued in the Supreme Court Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, they are discussing Prop 8, and Wednesday, the Defense of Marriage Act. What I heard is that the decision should be coming back in June, but people are already starting. So the arguments about Prop 8, they've already had all of that on Tuesday, and both sides are feeling good about it.
I've said it once, said it 1,000 times. Somebody said to me, I think they're interviewing me. They go, "Give me the top 5 reasons why gay folk should be allowed to be married." And I said, number 1, they pay taxes. And then 2 through 5 said they'll shut the fuck up because I can't take it anymore. I can't fucking take it anymore. I'm gonna go gay so I can feel like I can get something out of this. Titus, bend over. I want a dog in this fucking cornhole fight. Like, I just feel like I'm watching 2 soccer teams that I don't care about playing endless overtime games.
Why couldn't you be the one to bend over? Or have you already decided?
I have more listeners on my podcast.
Yeah, I think so. If you just as men, you have to go to
I just say there's certain things you can agree with it, you can disagree with it. It's going to happen, so let's just fucking do it and get it out of the way. I mean, it may be. To some people, it's like a wisdom tooth, and to other people, it's like an orgasm. But either way, it's coming, literally and figuratively. Just fucking let's get it out of the way, and let's move on to crumbling infrastructure and schools that don't work.
Well, people are talking about how at one point interracial marriage wasn't allowed, and then that was struck down, and that this is a similar type of thing, and that it's going to be allowed.
But we call them the salad days.
Interracial nothing was allowed, man. Negro, keep your eyes on the street. That's you couldn't look at another person of another color.
Right.
The gay people don't have it as bad. They keep talking about it like it's right, but it ain't as bad as it was in like 1958, 42, 1858.
Do you think? And I don't know who I'm talking to, which of you I'm talking to at this point, that it is a civil rights.
He likes the voice, so I do it once in a while.
No, it's good. Okay, I have to tell you, after our show at Irvine where you were doing the voice, I was so taken with it that I spent quite a bit of time doing it with my own neck. I'm like, wow. Then it really hurt.
It starts to hurt. Yeah, I've actually
really
developed
did.
these.
I was so fucking going to puke.
My lymph nodes are like literally like Rawlings baseballs right now. They can take a lot of stuff.
They call it Lucius syndrome. Here's trying to sound like a black guy.
Here's my problem. My problem with it all is that it's the right wing. It scares me a little bit. Everybody talks about the Constitution. The Constitution, got to follow the Constitution, guns, the Constitution, Second Amendment. But when it comes to this is just a basic right. People get to be what they want to be, the pursuit of happiness. And yet now it's a big fight. How come you can't just go, no, Constitution, it's right there. No,
the
it's
argument
different.
against it is that this is not a right, and that marriage is defined as man and woman, and et cetera.
I'm not in any of that, but they're the only piece of, there are a couple compelling arguments on the right, and the only good one I heard the other day is, what if you're a church and you're basically, you're tax-free organization because you're a church, but you're a church or you're tax exempt, but you refuse to marry gays because you're like, hey, this is our belief, we're fundamentalist Christian or we're Orthodox Jews or whatever we are, and we're not going to marry these people in our synagogue or in our church, then it's going to start a whole new round of, we want to be married at Temple Beth Shalom, and they're going to go like, we don't want to marry you, and then the government's going to get involved and go, well, wait a minute, you made this legal, but yet you're not making it legal, but yet you're tax exempt. That was an interesting thing where I went, I guess this gets a little more complicated.
Yeah, but come on, how far did you have to find a problem with it? How far in the minutia did you have to go to find a problem with it?
No, it will.
It's pretty far down.
Here's what'll happen. It'll be legal. It'll be legalized, hopefully. And then you think we'll be done with it. And then they'll say, we want to get married at the Crystal Cathedral. And the guys who had the Crystal Cathedral go, no, we don't agree with it. And according to our faith, this is, a man doesn't lie down with another man, and a chick that looks like a man doesn't lie down with another human that drives a Subaru. And we don't condone this. And then there's going to be a march, and then there's going to be a thing, and then it's going to the Supreme Court again. That much I know.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
And
it's gonna that scenario I just laid out will happen.
Yeah, but isn't it? It's just basic human rights, No,
I'm saying do it. I'm saying be prepared. Be prepared.
Why do we give a shit?
No, we don't.
That's why. Why does anybody give a shit? That's
you mean the ones who are gay? Why does anyone?
Why does anyone give a shit?
I don't understand.
It's always the guy who cares the most is the guy who's tapping another dude's foot under the stall in the airport. That's the dude who seems to give.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you.
All right, please help. Please teach me, oh Podfather.
All right, the Middle East, all they do is fight. Right. All right, now, it's over territory, it's over oil, it's over
camels,
it's over women, it's over whatever it is. You've insulted this and that and the other. Now, are they into territory? Are they into women? Are they into whatever? Are they into fighting? I'd argue they're into fighting because nations that aren't into fighting mysteriously don't fight that much.
Right.
Canada doesn't mix it up that much.
Norway not throwing down the gauntlet.
Canada just not that interested. Look. It's a macro version of your micro buddy who every fucking weekend got into a scrap at a bar, and it's like, what happened? I'm sitting at the bar, minding my own business. Next thing you know, guy's making fun of my old lady. Next thing you know, we're thrown down. That guy wants to fight.
Who are the people who want to fight in this scenario?
There's a faction of both sides that want to get into it, who always want to get into it, who will continue to get into it. It'll be over whatever topic, but they will always get into it, and this will carry on.
Which side of the gay people want to get into it? They want to fight about this? They just want to get married, right?
No.
No, they want to. I am just feeling bitchy.
You will see.
Is that what you're saying?
You will see that there. Let's put it. I'll put it to you this way.
Thank you. Go ahead.
We have a black president.
Yes, we do.
There's been more race talk now than there's ever been.
It's the most racist time I can remember in my life, weirdly enough.
Right. And when this happens, and this will happen, I hope it happens, I predict there will be more things going on. Maybe, like I said, there'll be skirmishes breaking out at the Crystal Cathedral.
We're going to have a gay president? Stop.
I'd be fine with that, by the way.
Brian's eyes are rolling around in his head so much, I think he's going to fall over.
A follow-up question to what you said earlier. For a country that drinks as much as Canada does, and for a country that loves hockey and fighting as much as Canada does, why doesn't Canada mix it up more?
I think, well, first off, they're crazy because then the second most famous thing is curling, which is really
curling.
It is like being it's like going from the mosh pit to the balcony at the opera, but being very much into the same two things equally, which like you think it's a totally different mindset. I think ultimately it's too cold. And when it
breaks their will.
Well, no, but if you see cells and you heat up cells, they start moving faster.
Right.
And when
They're
they
like
start to
suspended animation.
when they start to freeze, they stop moving. And there's an element of that with human beings. As it gets hotter, they start fighting. It's almost. I feel like there's more crime during the summer when everyone's out.
I think that's true.
They're like, because you see people out on the street with their shirts off at midnight walking around, and there's just more shit going on. When it's cold, when it's 40 below with the wind chill in Minnesota, everyone's just locked into their house trying not to die.
Cold just makes you cozy.
So I hope this goes through. I'm fine with the gay folk getting married, but if and when it goes through and they can't get married, the fight will not be over. There will be more fighting. It will continue. And there will continue
I don't know.
to fight.
The part that never makes sense to me is this idea that if gays are allowed to get married, that is somehow a threat to heterosexual marriage. I just think the words don't even make sense to me.
Well,
what
I
are
gotta
they
be
saying?
honest.
The definition of marriage?
The divorce I went through, and if this second one went bad, I would totally be like, it's legal now. Adam.
Listen,
Lynette took off.
I love
the Mangria.
Look, if we just fucking done this. It's insane that straight people have to sit around and get tied up in this over and over again. I can crew on the race
team. I'm good. I can turn a wrench. Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of plus sides. I'm just saying, if it was legal, it may be a little different. I'm not a lawbreaker. I'm just saying that if I have to pick, we're men. We're very,
we
very,
make a
very
fantastic team.
But we're also very, very practical. It's not like it's not hitting. It's like, you know what? You just got race cars, and I'm in already. I'm already in there.
Right. All right. Let's bring it on home, baby girl.
That was the
one
news.
whole story.
Well, that's you. That's not me.
Sip it, cunts.
I am just feeling bitchy.
That was the news with Alison Rosen.
All right. Doug Benson's going to join us at Amalfi tonight. That is Wednesday night. Phoenix Stand Up Live. We're going to be doing a bunch of live podcasts out there on the 5th and 6th of April. 2 shows each night. We have some guests that are joining us over there. I think we'll dig out some of those guests.
It's a great club, by the way.
Yeah.
How about you leave the joking to Adam?
Dominic Moynihan is going to come out and on Saturday night, and I think there's another comedian or two is going to come out and join us over there. And it's a really cool new club.
The great Teresa Strasser.
So here, Teresa Strasser's going to be there. There's somebody else, too. I can't remember. But another good comedian that... Frank Caliendo is going to come out there. Yeah. Anyway, Vegas House of Blues this Friday, March 29th. Me and Drew. Salt Lake City, Kingsbury Hall, Saturday, March 30th. And Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center, April 13th. You get a free glass of white Mangria, kiddies. So, I should tell everyone, by the way, Christopher Titus stand-up special, The Voice in My Head, available Monday, April 1st on ChristopherTitus.com. He has his own pirate ship. It is time to support those independent sailors.
It's only $9, and 10% goes to my charity, the Insight Youth Project for Homeless Teens. Also, I'll be at the Denver Comedy Works at the Landmark this weekend with a new show. You can watch me fumble through new shit that I just wrote.
There's no such fumbling with one Christopher Titus. So until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Christopher Titus, Alison Rosen, and Bald Brian saying mahalo. What's up, homo?
Subscribe to youtube.com/VPN for more Adam Carolla, including the best bits turned cartoon and mashups. plus other great shows like Comedy Bang Bang and Who Charted. That's youtube.com/VPN.
Hey, kiddies, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and catch any podcasts you might have missed at youtube.com/Adam Carolla. That's youtube.com/me.